Your four favorites are Poor Things, The Graduate, Do the Right Thing, and Death Proof. The first movie that comes to mind is She's Gotta Have It. Not only was it directed by Spike Lee, like Do the Right Thing, but it's also like Poor Things in the sense that it's about a woman living a sexually liberated lifestyle while some of the men in her life seek to control her. It also has scenes in both black and white and color, like Poor Things. One caveat though, I love this movie up until the third act, and Spike Lee even said that one of the choices he made in the third act is his biggest regret as a filmmaker. But I think the film is still worth watching if you can look past that aspect of it. Speaking of Spike Lee, he was one of the executive producers for Pariah, a film that explores the topics of gender and sexuality like Poor Things, explores the topic of race like Do the Right Thing, and is a coming-of-age film like The Graduate. Frankenhooker is one of my go-to recommendations for people who like Poor Things, and coincidentally, there's a sign for Do the Right Thing in this movie. Doll also reminds me a lot of Poor Things. And these are obvious ones, but you didn't have Frankenstein or Bride of Frankenstein marked as watched, so I think you should check those out. Speaking of Frankenstein, that's the name of the protagonist in Death Race 2000, which is one of the movies that came to mind when I was thinking of Death Proof. Midnight Cowboy, like Poor Things, follows an eccentric, sometimes naive character who's navigating a world where they're a bit of an outsider. Both protagonists also pursue similar lines of work and embark on journeys of self-discovery. Like The Graduate, Dustin Hoffman is in this movie, and it takes place in New York City, like Do the Right Thing. Since you like The Graduate, I think you might like Rushmore, which is similarly a coming-of-age film about a young man's complicated, unconventional relationship with an older woman. The same could be said about Harold and Maude. If you like The Graduate for the way it captures the disillusionment, confusion, ennui, and societal pressures people face while navigating life after college, then you should check out Reality Bites. Frances Ha also explores similar themes. But if you're more interested in the character of Mrs. Robinson, then you should definitely check out Good Luck to You, Leo Grand. Another coming-of-age film where characters are at a crossroads and unsure about their future like The Graduate is The Last Picture Show. In your review for Do the Right Thing, you said, "So real, shot like a very vivid dream, left me in shambles. I love black filmmakers. The use of every emotion was absolutely overwhelming." And if someone showed me that review and asked me to guess which movie it was about, I know this is recency bias, but my first guess would be Nickel Boys, so I highly recommend that one. But because of your comment about black filmmakers, I wrote down a bunch of movies from black filmmakers, but I couldn't decide which ones I wanted to include in this video. And I was also thinking, since Poor Things is a feminist film, sorry in advance to the people who are going to get mad at me for saying that, because that always seems to trigger people in the comments. But I wanted to combine those two ideas and recommend some movies from black filmmakers that tell women's stories. And the first movie that popped into my head was Black Girl. But then I was thinking maybe I should recommend a movie that's not just about a black woman, but also written and directed by a black woman. And technically I already did that by recommending Pariah, but I also want to throw in Losing Ground. Last time someone had Death Proof in their four favorites, I recommended Faster, Pussycat, Kill Kill, and I'm going to do it again because that's always going to be the first movie that comes to mind and you didn't have it marked as watch. Drive, like Death Proof, is about a stuntman, and you didn't have the original Mad Max marked as watched, and I think you'd like this one since you like Death Proof. And Revenge also seems up your alley.